round for an executive session to discuss personnel matters concerning teachers.
All right. So we've covered 615, 610. We're good on those.
No. I wanted to talk on number 2, 610.
Okay.
I recognized when I was at the FP&S meeting that we only discussed payroll deductions back then. This was never brought up. This was kind of brought into this recently. I sat in a meeting, the only thing we were discussing for this suspension of these 2 policies was payroll deductions.
We discussed this at 16 meeting.
I didn't.
Tom was there to explain.
Well, he said it was only payroll deductions. Tom wasn't even on the agenda that I remember.
No, it was. I asked about it at the end under new business, about bringing it up to have a board member, yeah.
No, it was.
It wasn't?
This was on the agenda and it was discussed when we went down.
Were you here for the second meeting? I didn't remember seeing you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I probably could have missed it, but that kind of caught my eye on payroll deductions. My biggest problem with this change in policy 610 is this. The board is taking out the public's ability to know what's going on when it comes to bidding. And I'm going to say this because bids shall be opened publicly by the business manager before 1 or more witnesses at a previously designated time and place. That's important. That for transparency, it's important that we do this here, whether it's a committee doing it or whether it's us doing it, that we have these bids come here. Hence, that's why they're called sealed bids, because they're supposed to be open in a public meeting, so there's no room for anybody to say, hey, this person over here decided to do this person over here decided this. That's my problem with changing policy 610. That's my problem.
I don't get that impression. That wasn't the intention.
No, I didn't say that, but it's out. It's out. It's not in there.
What part are you referring to? What page?
In our old policy, under 610, bids shall be opened publicly by the business manager before 1 or more witnesses. And that says publicly. That doesn't mean with 3 people in
So
it.
this is, what page are you on?
I'm on the old version.
What page?
Page 2. Where it says,
You gotta scroll down under
where was it,
responsibility.
615?
Yeah, where you roll down under 610, roll down under responsibility.
So are you under letter D or under letter B, Dwayne?
No, I'm over here on the, go into the website, the district, and go to 610
Oh.
policy.
No, I'm on the agenda.
No, I'm scrolling down to 610 as it is now,
Oh.
which I've always known it to be.
Yeah.
So, but still remaining in the policies, we have to advertise them in the newspapers.
Yeah.
And any bids have to be voted on by the board before we see.
Yeah, I don't mean to interrupt you. Can I say something? I watched the meeting in Huntington Township the other day. They opened the bids in a public meeting, which is what we should be doing. They open the envelopes that were sealed.
If you do.
We advertise that as part of the advertisement. Any public can show at the time.
I've never seen that.
I have the room set up
Yeah.
and chairs.
Oh, do you?
Yes.
If they-
Oh, okay.
if they-
So,
Anybody
how
know?
come it's
Usually the vendors who submit a bid stick around to see the announcement of the amounts. Other than that, I have yet to have a public person attend other than the vendors and
Oh.
anybody associated with the vendors.
Okay, well, Tom, since you say that, how do you advertise that's being done? Because I've never seen it on Facebook, I've never seen
It has
it.
to be in 2 newspapers.
It's on the website, it's in 2 newspapers, and it's on the website, and then vendors ask questions and stuff. So it's normally those of interest, but when the board approves it, it's within the documents on the board agenda for approval.
So is there a better way of advertising it other than that? Because let's face it, nobody gets the newspaper. I mean, I know we have to do that by law. That is law.
That's the thing, they're by law.
I mean, Facebook seems to be, okay, if I know, if Littlestown's having a meeting, I know if I go on Facebook, I'll see it, Littlestown's having a meeting. And that's why I'm asking.
I would say we can certainly post it. It just usually is on the finance portion of our website. That's where I put in the RFP that can be found and who to contact and when. But we can certainly put it on Facebook to set that up.
And the reason I say that, Tom, is because I've had so many people call me on the phone and say, I have no idea how to navigate your website. No idea. How do I find this? How do I find that? It is convoluted for people that aren't used to it, so it would be very hard to find it. When you're on Facebook and you see there's a meeting at such a time, such a date, that's easy to see. I've never seen it. I would probably have a problem finding it on the website.
I usually
Any bid,
put the link
they
directly
all
in
say
there.
right on there when the bid opening is,
And the location.
and the location,
Well,
time.
the newspaper's online too,
Yeah.
so you could just
Well,
go.
yeah, but they don't allow you to see it, because when you go in there, they say you gotta buy a subscription, you've already looked too many times.
Post your cookies and
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, well, I try not to take cookies, because
No, close, it's a cookies thing, so
Wait,
close
so
all
it
your
keeps coming back.
stuff and then go back in.
So, all right, are we good on this then? I think that they can probably post it on the website maybe in a more conspicuous way.
well, I mean, why would we wanna take those words out if as Tom
Well,
says?
it could be a
we're-
news post, you know, we do news posts on the
Tom.
website and Facebook page, the district Facebook.
Correct me if I'm
page.
wrong, this policy was updated according to certain guidelines that we
It would,
received.
this would mirror PSBA guidance, and it was a compliance, corrective action that we needed to change this to make it more robust language, and it mirrored what PSBA has suggested in their language.
But why would we take out, if you're doing it publicly, like you just said, why would we even take it out? Why not leave it in there to make sure that we stay in our policy doing that?
I think it's part of the legal requirements, it doesn't have to be quote unquote stated in the policy, it's more or less a legal requirement, they have to be open publicly. And we put that in the bid document, so if they're not open publicly, we say this is not a publicly open bid. That's something we did with transportation, because these are RFPs, we did those not publicly.
Okay, we're good on that. Item E is approval of the 2025-2026 handbooks. These handbooks are published in accordance with board policy and normal district operations. And these handbooks are a priority this month in order to get them approved and ready for publishing prior to the start of the 2025-2026 school year. Are there any questions? Hearing none. Item F is approval for the Success for PA Learners grant, spell grant, I think is what they call it. We qualify for this grant due to our elementary proficiency rate and the fact that we service grades K to 2 and our title funding. This is a 3-year grant that has trainers that are trained in enhanced core reading instruction that come in and work with kindergarten, first, and second grade teachers on the implementation of reading and literacy instruction. This grant provides the district with a $10,000 a year over the 3-year period, and the training support from the ECRIT. Dr. Berryman can add anything additional if needed, but are there any questions? Item G is the approval of Dr. Berryman to participate in and attend the EPLC Fellowship Program. This is a professional development opportunity for her to participate in. Dr. Mitchell previously participated in this program. He was the assistant superintendent. Dr. Berryman, is there anything you'd like to say about that?
It's attached for you to view, but it is an 8-month program where I would meet with people from around the state to build leadership and look at policies, high interest rates, or not rates, sorry, Dwayne, start looking at you, thinking about money. High interest rates, like really high interest of what we're doing here in education, like early reading, math programs, CTE for graduation requirements, those types of things. So really just networking throughout the state and then building up my professional network as far as what we can do here at Little's.
Are there any questions on that? Item H is 2 basic policy attachment updates. Reviewing and updating policy attachments is a priority to remain in compliance with state and federal guidelines as well as PSBA guidance. Are there any questions on the attachment updates?
Yeah, I have a couple of questions. I'm concerned about the fiduciary responsibility to ensure we get the best return possible to your education needs when we're spending taxpayer money on this. When you start getting in the,
Are we going into records and retention on this yet? Is that part part of what you just said?
Well, yes, there's two attachment
Okay.
updates, so are you addressing the fiduciary stuff in?
Yeah, on the federal
626?
program, under procurement, yeah.
So,
Address
state
that.
your question and Tom will
Mhm.
answer it.
How do we ensure we get the best return possible to meet the education needs when we're spending taxpayer money when it comes to this procurement? Procurement.
I would say we have to meet very strict guidelines when we receive federal funds and how we handle those federal funds and procure items through those. There's a lot of, just like we went through with the cafeteria, there's a lot of processes that they have already in place that we have to follow. So they pretty much set that up and we have to just follow that process through when it comes to those federal procurement items.
So under the FSMC, I noticed, that's no requirement for bidding or anything on that? I mean,
There is, that's why we did the RFP. RFPs for services like that, we would not be required to do an RFP. That's more or less if the board so chose to do that route, we could have just chose. But the way the federal funds works, we have to do that, and they stipulate we have to do that. So that's something, just like this with procurement, they would stipulate what the thresholds are and how we can handle these funds and how we can procure those, and we would have to meet all the requirements. And I'm trying to think of what else. Like, there's a lot of steps we have to take to make sure we're compliant from a federal standpoint before we even get to the procurement phase. So, in essence, they kind of take all that guesswork out of it through the process.
well, the one thing I do want to give you credit on, Tom, is that when you put up the procurement, the thresholds, thank you for doing that. Because that was so outdated. If I remember, it started out at 10,000, went up to 11.5 on the low, and above, up to 18.5, and now it's changed totally. It's really gone up because of the, inflation. And I looked and looked on the state websites for the exact figure, because they always say they put it every year, but you can't find it. So when you put that chart up, thank you for doing that, because you have both state thresholds in there,
Yep.
which I appreciate.
And that's one of the reasons to update this attachment, is to bring those up to date.
Very much so. It keeps us, it's still under 10,000 for, but the rest of it kept going up. And then,
Okay. Well, wait a minute, I'm gonna do the records retention schedule.
yes.
I was reading the records retention schedule, as boring as it is, and what I'm concerned about is it only mentions retaining emails for district employees. What about board members? You says 2 years for district employees, says nothing about board members. What's,
That, Dr. Berryman or Dr. Miller, do you want to address that?
Well, I guess we took, PSBA and then a couple other districts from around us, and they had it broken down by each section that you see on here. And to my recollection, nothing about school board.
That specifically stated school board members. And Mr. Sullivan, it's understood that school board members receiving an email address from the school district that has employees would be considered school district employees, even though their salary is 0.
So you're not deleting from the top?
Your emails as part of our email
Only the bus
system
drivers can talk, you're right.
would fall under the employees, as would Mr. Thompson's, as would Mr. Lovell's, Mrs. Brenneman's, Coral.
So they would fall under the 2-year retention schedule?
They would fall under the employee retention schedule.
How long, 2 years?
Yeah, you don't delete them from the top.
School will be
No.
correct.
Now, when you say retention, and I'll ask this question, retention isn't just on our district laptops. Would it not be electronically held somewhere else, like on a server or a cloud?
Retention through the Google, I'm just gonna say Google dashboard that tech department controls.
Okay, so it is there.
Yes,
Okay, so even if you go to gone,
it's not going.
it's not gone.
What are you trying to get to?
Well, what he's trying to get to is people like me that say I delete my emails. I delete my emails on my end.
Well, you're
That's-
saying.
No, I'm not going after you.
No, you are. Yeah, you are.
No, I'm
And
not.
that's
No, because I never said that.
I know you didn't say that, but that's what you're insinuating, so we'll get to it. So if it is something that is important, I am required to hold on to it if it is important. If I don't think it's important, I can delete it on my end, but anything sent from the school is held on his email, on his documents. So when you sit there and put your 8 ones out, 8 write your notes asking for any emails, you're asking for ones that I have. Granted, I don't keep them. Now, anything that the school may have might be on theirs, but you gotta be specific and ask for those. So, yes.
I
So
just
the
feel
record
that Carl
retention
doesn't write them
schedule
either.
would have it all under employees. Does that answer your question, Mr. Sullivan?
So in my defense, I was pretty much, so when you reiterate the no, I have always assumed that when you say you want these emails from this, or this, that they're going to look on the server and get them regardless if they're on your laptop or not.
What's the purpose of filing the right to those?
That's not
What's the
the
purpose?
What do you mean?
What's the reasoning that you're wanting these board member emails?
Well, it isn't the wanting the board member emails, to be honest with you. You want to know what it honestly
You're
was?
asking for.
I mean,
That's what you're asking for.
yes, correct. It was more about how, well, I shouldn't get into that because it's not even in the conversation, but look, I know common sense. Common sense will bring you to a point in your life when you're sitting in a meeting on 5/20/2024 and somebody singles you out as a volunteer, which has never been done in all the time, 18 months I've been on this board, ever. And then you all read from the bottom of the list to the top, and no one in the room said, why are we doing that, Nick? Because you all were talking to each other and you all knew it. That was my point. You all knew what was going to happen. The only person that didn't know was the audience and me. That was my point.
What
I
evidence
didn't
do you
talk to
have?
anybody about it.
Because you all didn't even question it.
But
I mean, I would-
Okay.
First, we're making an
Okay, what are we
allegation.
doing right now? Let's
All
move
right,
on.
move on. Unless there's something, there's a question or something in there, is there anything else pertaining to the records retention? Hearing none. Brian's not here for, did you have anything for career HCTI?
That's next.
No. No, okay. I'll do that. Nick, you don't have anything for PSA, that's next one. I don't have anything for LAU. You were done, okay. We're up to FMX report, that's all in your packet. If you guys need, there's any questions there? None? Okay, is there any new business?
Yes, I do have a question about the merge of the middle school to the high school.
Okay.
Because it's recently been brought to my attention. When this project initially was brought forth to the previous boards, that 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade would be in their own wing, period. 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th would be in their own wing, period. What I'm hearing is that that's not the case. These students are going to be mingling, especially to get from one part of the hall to where the art room is supposed to be for the 6th graders. Having 6th graders walk to where the art room is supposed to be, down the 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade hallway, to me, is just not acceptable.
I think that's the only part of interaction that they have, if I remember correctly, going to specials.
Yeah, so my recollection is 6th grade has its own wing, and that was always the case. So they're going to be in what's always called the 100 hallway, the wing that's getting worked on now.
Right, the first floor.
Was designated for 6th grade. So they are in that area all day except for specials.
Right.
And yes, like there isn't any other way to the art room except to go down the hall and up the steps, or up the steps and down the hall. Like there's no other way for 6th grade to get there. It was always designed that 7th and 8th grade would have a portion of the new wing, and they are at the front of, on the 2nd floor, they're at the front of that new wing. So like there's some science classes in the back. I believe it's science. Science is in the back of that top floor, but they have their classes at the front end of that hallway.
And if I'm not mistaken, there is a different bell schedule for this, isn't there a different bell schedule for the sixth graders and eighth and everybody else?
That hasn't been determined yet. I think 7 to 12 is working on the same bell schedule, because we did talk about 7th, 8th, and 9th graders being able to take some electives together, like Intro to Ag, Spanish 1, French 1, so that like if you're in 8th grade and you wanted to take French 1 or Spanish 1, you could get that year-long experience. So they'd have to be on the same bell schedule for that type of thing, or if they did Intro to Ag, they'd have to be able to be on that bell schedule. 6th grade, I think they did talk about, we have talked about them being on a different schedule because they're also probably going to eat in their own time frame as well.
Yeah, you brought that, you did say that last week, which I appreciate. I'm just thinking of these sixth grade, I'm saying babies because they're the youngest, like they're the kindergartners coming in, walking down a hallway and with potential seeing these big seniors or juniors,
Go
I
on the
mean,
bus with them,
what's that?
go on the bus with them.
Yeah.
Well,
And as some of them have indicated, buses can be more intimidating than.
well, okay, I understand that, but what I'm saying
Oh,
is,
class
it
all
was
rooms.
pre-Tim and Judy.
Yeah.
That what was initially brought to the board by Chris Bigger was that 6th through 8th was gonna be completely separated from 9th through 12th, and that is not the case now. That is not okay. In my opinion, I don't think that's okay.
I think the
That's-
fact that when they're thinking through it and they're trying to better the education by letting students be able to take some specials like French,
I'm not
Ag,
saying
those
7th and
things.
8th, I think that's actually a great
Right.
idea.
But sixth grade, with the, unless you're gonna bring the art classroom to sixth grade, which I
Maybe
don't
you-
see
maybe-
as feasible.
Well, maybe there can be some reconfiguration.
There'll be teachers in the hall.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
there are teachers in
Teachers
the
will be
hallway. The only other,
supervising the hallway.
yeah, the only other thing I can take to, the principals, especially as they're working on, because we're gonna do some secondary meetings this summer to firm some of that stuff out, or up. So like at the elementary school, if you think about it, their teachers walk them to their specials. I don't know if that's something that in 6th grade could still be something where, especially art, like PE, they don't have to really necessarily walk through any upperclassmen to get from that 6th grade hallway to the gym, right? Like they're just going through the lobby. But that might be something like if they're going to art, that is the furthest one away.
Right.
PE, art, music is not that, like they just go right up the steps and.
Well, that was
there's 7
that
and
was
8
next.
to go to music, so
I
they
think-
don't really have to intermix to go to music.
I was just gonna add and build on what Dr. Behrman was saying. I think the process that I recall was conversations from the start to the finish with different committees and different folks to try to figure out how best to keep the sixth graders as isolated as possible. And I believe that that's what we're trying to currently do, is make sure that they are as isolated as possible, and when they have to shift or change classes, to provide the support in the hallways and the areas that are free time or unscheduled time, to be able to support them and make sure that they're learning that process. And I believe that's
Isolated
what
sounds like
Dr.
a really
Behrman's
bad
working.
word, like it's just a whole different atmosphere
Mhm.
than what I was expected. But back to like music, so music apparently is gonna be in the library, in a room off of the library. Like, what about people doing their work and studying, or, like, isn't that gonna interfere?
It's supposed to be getting some construction up there to,
Correct.
and it's not like, it's the 6th grade, 7th grade general music. It's not band, chorus, it's not that kind of, it's their general, like, 6th grade rotation type music. Yeah, it's not.
I'm just thinking if they're like playing instruments
No,
in a room off the library,
It's not
how
bad.
are
And
they
read
gonna be
music.
able
It's
to
not
do
bad.
their work?
Soundproofing that.
There is no way. But I mean, it's a legit.
Yeah, no, that's a great question, that is great, but, yeah, they will also have band and chorus rooms.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Any other-
I do for Dr. Mitchell. Dr. Mitchell, I'll send you a very nice email requesting the cost involved with the Kathy Griffin right to know that recently was decided May 29th, 2025. You wrote back that you're gonna talk to the board to see if the board wants to do it. Well, I'm standing here with the one you made for me. Here it is. Everybody can see it. Just the front page. It was done for me. I would like to have all the costs, including administration fees, from this harassing person, I would like to have it.
Mr. Sullivan, what I think I shared with you, and I think I sent it to the full board, was that that was a total board decision, not that I would go to each individual board member and ask. So you bringing it up is a perfect opportunity to get a straw poll, because I believe when the other right to knows were asked, it was asked of Dr. Bell during this time, and I believe that the entire board, or the majority of the board, said that they wanted that. So it is.
Ms. Ewan, do you care or not care for the Kathy Griffin, financial costs? Right to know costs,
If he wants to go ahead, let him.
you know?
What is the point, and I'm just curious, what's the point in this? I mean, is there, if there's a legit concern, I don't,
The concern should be the cost.
Hold on, I
because-
just.
Wait, is this
That
just
wasn't
gathering
it, what
costs?
was-
Yeah,
that
it's
was
a
a concern
I mean,
when
if
we
we're just
filed
gonna
eight.
single out one person, then we
It's a
might as well all
concern.
have all the right to knows and know what the cost is.
What'd she say? I'm sorry.
but that's a lot of money for,
No, what did she say?
you know.
Wait,
for-
Hold on.
is this gonna
Slow down,
cost
stop,
money to do?
stop,
Wait a minute, is this
stop,
gathering
stop,
money or is this
stop,
just
please,
gathering
stop,
information?
stop. She asked a question, the question was asked, she made a comment, the question was over here because she couldn't hear because people were talking. That's why I asked you to stop. He would like to know the answer, what she said, so that he can make, so that he has the same information that you just got. So, please pronounce your question a little bit louder so that he can hear over here, please.
I said, if we're gonna single out one and pick it out, then everybody here should have access to every RTK there is, or has been.
Okay. Stop,
Instead of
stop.
singling out one person.
Now,
Is
you
this
go.
costing us money, or is it just gathering information for the business manager, gathering information?
It's costing us
Cost
money.
us money.
Oh, well, forget it. I thought it was
Okay.
just.
Costing us money for the right to knows. It's costing us money for legal fees for the right, and here's what I'll say.
No.
Wait, I thought it was just gathering, how much did it cost us to do these? That's all, I
Right.
thought it
But
was
that's
just
still
getting
gonna take
information.
time out of them to have to look for that
Right.
stuff. No,
Up or down?
You got a statement you wanted to make first for clarification.
So, what's the question? Because I feel like we've changed the.
The question is, do you want to give care, Dwayne Sullivan, well, let me phrase this correctly.
Do you want me, Carrie, Tom, to calculate the total cost of the RTKs that were filed by Kathy Griffin and provided to Dwayne?
I think that if he wants it, that's fine, and we can post on the website the costs affiliated with all the ones that are on the website.
Maybe we should do that when you do post it on the website, just add the cost, and then we don't have to worry about it anymore
Next one.
while you're doing it.
I can explore how that would happen.
Get it calculated.
I would like all the costs
Yeah, add
for all the right to knows on the website, so everybody can look at everything.
Sounds good to me.
so that's a majority, all right?
So we'll do that.
I will look into that
Including-
process
including
and how
his
that will
eight?
work.
Okay.
Well, mine's been said in a public meeting.
I'm just saying, going forward, always do that. Always put the dollar.
Kind of, sort
Just a
of.
way to resources.
Is there any other new business?
Wasted
Well, if you have
resources.
to post it on the website, you might as well put all the information there.
Is there any other new business? Hearing none. Post adjournment, we will meet for an executive session to review the state required annual safety report. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Do I have a
Second.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
No? Motion carries.
We're doing it here or someplace
We're
else?
staying in here,
What?
That means.
so please vacate.
What?
No, no more candy bars. Sit your,
I thought it was leaving.
Another one.
Oh my God, I thought it was leaving. I had my bag.
I wanted a second one too.
It's for tomorrow.
Jeannie, I apologize for the way I was just going. Random.
Oh my.
Is this gonna be?
That's what I always, the way I always think about interest. That's the call.
Oh, see, I was looking at that one.
You had to go back.